mad. I have to stop watching Sabir Bay show right now. Big up Sabir Bay because you know what I mean. He's doing some work for the people. This is Canaanland Moore's class, 30th of September, and we realize right now that the way that they're going at Negro, Black, Color people right now, you shouldn't want to be that because nobody in the world, nobody at all, nobody fears a black planet. You know what I mean? Big up Public Enemy too, because you know it's not even no diss in them. You know what I'm saying? Black is death and destruction. Look at it happening right now. Right? Also, another thing, when no, everything comes down to status, right? So forget it. What we'll do is we'll just start with the questions because you already know people always got questions because people didn't do their job, right? People didn't do their job. People wanted to do everything except what they're supposed to do, right? Knowing that they have a job to do for 80, 90 years. Why? How come? Right? Especially for new people. Because we could be repetitive about, you know, information and whatever, right? But people are waking up like it is crazy right now how many people are waking up right now. Crazy how many people are waking up. That people are waking up to the point where Asians, who cares where in Asia they're from, right? And we're not talking about South Asians, right? Asians said that they're for Ferguson, right? Because whatever all the stuff is wrong, they can't be doing that or whatever. And then they said, you know, black something or the other. You know, yeah, you know, we'll support solidarity with Ferguson. They never called themselves yellow people. Yellow guys, the yellow guys over here are for or support Ferguson. How come? But, you know what I mean? They're going to continue marching, picketing, getting stuff, flowers, whatever, burned, you know what I mean? They get mad, they march a little bit more. And none of these leaders out here are telling these people that, hey, I'm a lawyer. And then we have these books right here called law dictionaries. And there's a word in there called civiliter mortuus that means dead in the eyes of the law. And if you have that status, don't be marching picketing about nothing. Because you're marching and picketing for nothing. Because it all comes down to status. You march and picket all you want. If you're in a dead status, then law doesn't recognize you. So you can't even, don't even think about exercising or talking about or thinking about or whatever as far as law is concerned, which includes, you know, don't forget Ma'at, Egyptology, holding the scales of justice and all that, which is law. So all chematologists and all those people too, who don't have a status, Ma'at, whatever, and Khufu, whatever, that's not no status. You're dead status. I bet you get tickets and you pay them. So don't tell me about nothing about chematologists and all that. Don't tell me nothing about Rastafarian and you have some jurisdiction because Haile Selassie is the King of Kings and you represent him. But you're getting tickets from a European in your own land because you think you come from somewhere else. And you don't want to recognize that everybody's a Moor right now. You don't realize everybody's a Moor? Go do your research on Silbury Hill. Silbury Hill, Silbury Hill. You just go do your research on that and ask yourself, how the hell is that in the UK? How'd that get there? How come nobody talks about that? But you just go Google that and you do your own research. So you had some questions, and there was a few that I got from earlier that I told people make sure you email them, so you might be full today with questions. When Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, "You're not Negro, black, colored," I wasn't just talking. Say something sounds cool, right? How come nobody tells you? All these people out here marching and saying that they're the whatever for the liberation of people, come join their stuff. How come none of them tell you about civil liber mortuus? And all of them know about law and study law, or have lawyers, or have a law division, law section of their organization of whatever. And people take Moors for jokes, right? Like Moor came to the temple yesterday, first time. Heard about it, whatever. He took the hour and a half bus ride just to come here. He ended up going the wrong way and all this, whatever. Came there and class is finishing. So he's like, okay, well, yo, forget this. Um, I know that class is done. I came here an hour, but like, I need to find out about this because I came far to come see what's up, and you guys tell me you're leaving now. So wherever you're going right now, I'm going. So you know, a little more that was there. We were driving us to the station. So he's like, all right, I'll just come just because I want to hear more. So he's asking questions, asking questions, asking questions, telling him stuff, telling him stuff, telling him stuff. You know what I mean? So his interest peaked. You know what I mean? So calls me now, and the question comes up, okay, I want to see something to show that it's legit. I'm like, okay, I'm telling you, you met me and shook my hand and all that, right? So you know me. I'm someone in your face that you saw with your own eyes. And I'm telling you that we beat tickets out here. I'm telling you, we don't pay taxes out here. Show this card, we don't pay taxes. Simple as that. Well, what do you mean? So if you want to buy whatever, it's going to work. So if you want to buy this, it's going to work. So if you want to buy that, you know what I mean? But all in all to say that the concept, the psychology behind us being called black was to stunt our mental capacity to do anything. That was the reason for calling us black, if you really want to know. The reason they call us black and Negro colored and all this type of stuff, all these different terms, is specifically to get us in a dumbed down mind state where we can't think. And if we can't think, then we won't solve any problems because you have to think to do that. Simple, right? Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, "You're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian. These guys are gonna have an Ethiopian flag, waving the Ethiopian flag, right? Going against the prophet. Okay. Um, Haile Selassie is sitting there with a golden fez on. You know what I mean? They call him the Black Ark Sovereign. Rastafarians, this is in their stuff that common people don't know. In the Rastafari stuff, Haile Selassie is known as the Black Ark Sovereign. Him and Empress Menen. That's what they're known as. And you tell me they're not Moors? And he said that he's the Emperor of Abyssinia when he went to the League of Nations. He didn't talk about no Ethiopia. You go check all the history books, it's not no Ethiopia Mussolini's going to try to take over. So we have to recognize that, Prophet came and he dropped some serious jewels, but they were simple. Right? They were simple. It's not some vast whatever, you know what I mean? All they did was dumb down our thinking. So we think everything's advanced when nothing's advanced. Everything's simple. We're just finding out about it. That's why it seems advanced to us. But everybody knows this. The Asian said Asian whatever. They didn't say yellow. yellow solidarity for Ferguson. Why? Because only incompetent people talk like that. Conscious thinking people with nationalities don't talk stupid. Okay? They just don't. That's just what it is. Nothing personal. Don't get mad because you don't want to listen to the prophet. Man said we're not Ethiopian, but then people are gonna fly Ethiopian flag and say that that's a nation. Well, that's not a nation. That's Ethiops. That's Greek. And we're not even talking Etruscans or whoever Greek. We're talking about modern Greek. So the first the first is an email that we got sent from Clock of Destiny from somebody, right? So somebody just said, hey, I got this email. I just want to send this to you. Because, everybody knows that how the Moors do. Yeah, you already know. So, with all due respect, the Clock of Destiny is not affiliated with the MST of A. Therefore, our program had nothing to do with your concerns. When the Prophet was speaking, he was talking about you Moors under the MST of A. This is not our concern. On behalf of the Premier and Clock of Destiny, we will not be lowered to such inferior views. This people who say Prophet was speaking about somebody. So if you're going to quote the Prophet, that means you're backing him. But then, anyways, we know men of a professional nature, and it proves that you don't even have a college degree or a professional certification. And I don't mean online or non-accredited school. You may even have a tainted record. So as you see, we know this because an highly intelligent Moor would understand our position. So in reverse, you are the one the Prophet was talking about. Case in point. He said he allowed the government to exist long enough for the Moors to study government. Have you enrolled in a program to study government? This is the first time I'm reading this. I never read this yet. This is live right now, right? So this is the first time. I didn't check the email before class today. No. And many of you remain in the same category. Lastly, the Prophet said, we don't gossip and speak radical, right? And radical spelled R-A-C-T-I-C-L-E, the radical. When I read below, I see you practice this. Now watch your response to this. It will not be with love. If it was not true, you would leave it alone, A-L-O-N-E-D, but because it has truth to it, personally you have to speak. There will be no more replies. There will be no more replies to these type of comments because it has no bearing on Clock of Destiny aims and objectives. All right. So Clock of Destiny apparently has nothing to do with the Moor Science Temple of America, even though, CMB was down with it. Those are the guys who run Clock of Destiny now that, own something, just like these INC and reincarnated Moors who own the Prophet stuff, and they own the handshake, and they own the Quran, and they own the circle with the 7 and all that stuff, and they own the circle 7 with the red 7, and then with the blue quadrants. These jokers, right? Black guys with feathers on, playing around with the Prophet's stuff that he left for the beneficiaries of the estate. Left it for them, right? So that's just so you know, that's what you're dealing with. Dirty Moors who's trying to tell you that CMB right? CMB, who was a 360-degree master mason, free Moorish master astrologer, Moorish constitutional lawgiver, wasn't down with the Prophet and is not affiliated with the MSTFA, but he has a fez on that's not marked, get the hell out of here. That's how these people want to try to play with your stuff, right? When all you have to do is just go get the Clock of Destiny book and read what he said yourself, and he'll straight school you on what's what. Because CMB was Adam. So he put the information out. You're not playing no secrets with nobody. What are you playing secrets for? You know? No need to play secrets. This is people's birthright. Okay? The Moorish nation state being lawful government to establish the nationality card. Example, having to present government ID at the airport. Now, there's, like we talk about, the issue of Moors exercising their birthright is not a challenge because there's some enemy that's against us. The issue is that we have not taken the time. We're talking about we're 100 years behind, and then we want to talk about showing ID at the airport in 2 months. There are 100 years of studying we have to do before we could have a manufacturing company again. Or we could go out there, wake up all these people ASAP, because, you know, it's the awakening time right now, Aquarian age, put the information out there, get these people woke up ASAP. You just, wherever you're at, study the law and exercise, period. No matter what, just put the Prophet up front and exercise. That's all. Because the time frame that we're in right now, these people are on full assault on nationality birthrights, anything to do with constitutions, anything to do with, it's full throttle for them right now to try to stop this wave that they can't really stop, but you know, they're gonna try a thing. Why not try it? You know what I'm saying? Anything could happen, right? You know, there's coincidences and stuff like that. You know, when laws been laid down since Prophet left for him. You ever think that, you know, if he was born and, you know, it turned dark and the sun and everybody came out of the fields because this child was born with this whatever, what do you think was going on when he left? What happened when he left? As far as, you know, etherically and ancestrally, and because, you know, if Allah sent him, then, you know, when he leaves, it's going to be a big deal, just like when he came. So everything right now is playing out. And it's up to the Moors to just pick up their stuff and exercise. That's why we keep showing people the receipts. Here's the receipt, went to the store, got the stuff off. You have to be this. It's not something to be shown like a magic trick. It's not no magic trick. It's not no pick cards and then let me pull it behind your ear and you still hold it. No. This is your stuff. This is your magic trick. Show me some tricks. Just like, you know what I mean? The great the great European saxophonist, Crack Pit, just picked up the stuff and blew it and realized that he could play this thing. And he was good at it. How come? Because it's his stuff to do that. You know what I mean? It was Noble Drew Ali's thing to uplift fallen humanity, bring back our nationality and birthright. That was his thing to do. It was whoever said to be a sellout. You know, that's the position that they had to play. What position you played in this? Right? Because just like the brother, Oh yeah, good one with the nationality card and showing at the airport, right? I know I can talk for a Moor that went and got on a plane with a nationality card, but it's because he knew the law and that was for him to do because he exercised that. Like that's just what it is. Can't even really do nothing about it. That's what it is. You either you exercise or you hold on to this and watch people exercise it, and waiting for something so you can exercise. When it's your stuff, get out of your mind that somebody's giving you something for you to like. This is yours. You're gonna go research and find out something and be like, oh my gosh, and it's gonna make sense to you because this is your journey. The brother kept bringing up he wants to see something. Does anybody have any cases coming up? So you know what I mean? I could go and see or whatever like that. I just want to see this thing in action. I'm like, yo, bro, we beat up cases. We beat up courts out here already. It's not no secret. They know who we are out here. You know what I mean? We get kidnapped and we talk to CSIS and whoever. We don't talk to chief of police. We're not, because they know what's up. This is federal only. We're federal jurisdiction and above. We're not municipal. They know this. So I brought up to him, okay, well, how about this? How about you go out there and get a ticket, right? And I'll give you everything that you need to beat it. Well, nah, I don't want to do that. Like, hold on. So you want me to go out and get a ticket to show you that I can beat this, but you're not gonna do it. I'm like, right? Because once we get to that level of our own self is challenging ourselves, we have problems. Instead of just letting the higher self, you know what I mean? Right? Lower self is always, and that's why, it's murky. You know what I mean? It's murky. And it's always us. When in doubt, the light will go out. Islam to Lord Ta'ala see how big. And Islam to all the Moors worldwide and all the Moors, you already know. Sabir Bey had me going earlier. I said, guys my theme music before class now. Sabir Bey show. So these individuals, right, coming in, this is not a card thing where, oh yeah, I'm going to get this because I can get a card. You're not getting down with this because you can get a card or get taxes off or not have a license or whatever. You're getting down with this because this is your stuff. You're getting down with this because this is your stuff. Somebody brought it to your attention. Yo, between 1913 and 1929, there was this man by the name of Noble Drew Ali, and he came and he bankrupted the United States of America, right? And then he gave everything that he got from them to the Moors. How come you don't have nothing right now? How come you're broken? How come you're getting welfare and all this type of stuff? When he left you your vast estate. How come all these people have buildings or whatever? Because over the past 100 years, they've been building on your stuff that they hypothecate, right? They're building on your stuff that they hypothecate. To pledge a thing without delivering the possession of it to the pledgee. The master went abroad and in the absence of the owner may hypothecate the ship, freight, and cargo to raise money requisite for the completion of the voyage. So there they have stuff. That's why Rockefeller, Rothschild, whoever talked about, not to hold anything. Don't hold anything, but have all the control. Without even touching the stuff, have control. Because they own it by hypothecation. Because it's abandoned, but it's not theirs, so they can't really claim it. But they can claim it indirectly if nobody else is claiming it, and if nobody else claims, then they'll hypothecate forever and pretend that they own stuff. When everybody Like, and you could put people onto nationality and birthrights, and you know, it's it's so challenging, and you know what I mean, because you know they're too busy watching news or whatever. They think that these people got power because they're showing, you know, they got like a room the size of a whatever, and they put some people on there, and you know, put some blood on them, or got some officers, and you know, put a badge and put mass on them or whatever. Show show stuff from 500 years ago that they took a drawing of and put that on TV today, and everybody says, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's happening right now," because everybody's on dumb down right now. And what you do with the dumb down? You just herd them into the what is it, penitentiary. They got choke you out on the corner, shoot you up on the corner. Just the other day, uh, one of these Dragons Den TV show judges or whatever, his $1 million Porsche almost blew up some gas station, right? Man's $1 million Porsche caught on fire while he's pumping gas. He's not smoking nothing like that. He's just pumping gas and thing caught on fire. Almost blew up the whole place. So it's on right now. Anything that's not in line with nature is out the way. Either nature's gonna deal with it or US democracy, who these people keep, you know, expect like they have a mayor, the black mayor. Okay. Black mayor of what? Black mayor of the city of whatever. That's been dissolved since 1933. Why is there still a mayor today around? Oh, because there's supposed to be grand sheiks and grand governors and grand chairmans and grand treasurers all over this place, which is the government. But people like these fools want to tell people about they have no affiliation with the Moor Science Temple and cause division and confusion. Same confusion Noble Drawley warned Moors about. And everybody's looking at some Europeans talking about they're doing some confusion. When there's people right up in this thing right here that don't want to give people their birthright, want to play around like somebody owns some birthright. Nobody can't own birthright if I know about it. If I know about it, if I know about nationality and birthrights, somebody can't come tell me about 350 for a card or whatever and some papers is 50 cents, 80 cents for what? 10 pages. You can pay $1 and get 10 pages photocopied, right? And people are telling people $300 to get some cards. And then when we send them to RV Bay to go do their studying, the objective of sending you there and the reason why, if you just look at the tabs, right, you'll realize that there's an order of things. Because this is not, you know, just, oh my gosh, there's a lake. And you just swing on the rope out there and you don't know what's out there. You know if that's 2 feet of water. You know if there's a whirlpool out there sucking people in or nothing like that. Don't be jumping in this to get some card because somebody's going to game you. And the somebody that's going to game you is yourself, not the guy who said 350 or the guy who's telling you that CMB has nothing to do with MSTA. And then when you really check it out because you know Moors say stuff out. Okay, I was saying Clock of Destiny when I was reading the thing, but it was saying COD in there. Right? That's no different than Noble Drawley said Moor Science Temple of America, and people are pushing MSTA when they talk instead of saying it out. Because you know, in short form, once you do short form, you change the jurisdiction. Immediately you change the jurisdiction. So COD is cash on delivery. They're telling you what they're about. COD is cash on delivery, not Clock of Destiny. When you hear the Clock of Destiny people short form Clock of Destiny and try to tell you that that's whatever, That's cash on delivery. That's slave trade, sell you out, just like Joel told you that these Moors are going to do to you. Not Europeans or nobody, Moors. People on our side that thought this was a joke and unreal. People on our side. That's Noble Joel talking, right? So there's supposed to be more Science Temple of America in every state of the Union because that's the only governmental jurisdiction out here. Because Indians don't make no claim because they're on the reserve. So they have no claim. Okay? Oh, you're also going to do your research since we're talking about claim. You're also going to do your research. Islam to Sons of Allah for dropping the heavy ones. There's an Absolute Vodka ad, right? You're going to Google Absolute Vodka ad, where is Mexico? And you just Google that and just check that out. You know what I mean? And that's thanks to Sons of Allah. So, right, so the Indians don't have no claim because they're part of Bureau of Indian Affairs and, you know, Aboriginal, Native, whatever of Canada crap, which is dissolved since 1933. So they have no claim, right? Anybody who's down with municipal, federal, county, and goes on boroughs, whatever, right? All that's dissolved too. So they have no claim. So anybody saying that they're government of something or whatever in the jurisdiction above Mexico have no claim. Okay? Negro, black, colored people, we know they have no claim because, you know, they've been at you know, wherever, passing an abandoned building, just passing an abandoned building, you know, they got 500 billion churches, they got 300 million hair salons, they got everything in abundance that we don't need. And schools, we have zero. And hospitals, we have zero. And, you know, even reputable restaurants, like I'm saying, even a fast food joint that's quote unquote black, even that fails. There's one out here, failed. How come it failed? Because they put it in the black community, try to help black people, but black people are all about death and destruction. So there goes their quote unquote black fast food joint. And the spot was alright too. You know what I mean? Like some people tried it out here. But you know, on top of it, they did it as black. So, you know, it's failed already. But on top of that, you know, they did it for the black people to have a black, you know, store where they could go to. And then that failed. Right? And the only independents that that are remaining independent out here is the Caribbean community with the West Indian stores. And then they don't want to support them as far as the black people or whatever because, you know, their stuff's more expensive than the grocery. When these guys are getting stuff from the islands shipped here. And they're talking about, let's get it from these genetically modified guys. And want to know we don't have nothing. But they have something because, you know, they are doing stuff for their nation. That's Guyanese, Jamaican, Trinidadian, St. Lucian, whatever, and they have their people that support that. Why? Because people in the Caribbean, they deal with nationhood. They don't deal with fictions. They deal with one flag. Everybody has one flag in Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody has one flag in Guyana. Everybody has one flag in Jamaica. Everybody has one flag in St. Kitts, Martinique. You name it. They got one flag. In North America, you got 50 billion, everybody has a flag up saying that, oh yeah, they're representing that. When this is Morocco. Clearly Morocco. And if this is Morocco, then you should have some ID that says that you're Moroccan or tied to Moroccans or something like that. Anything else is a fraud out here. I don't know about anything else out here other than this is Morocco. I don't do talk, black people trying to talk about, yeah, the black stuff and the black. That's their business. I don't do black. You know? Dark youth man today. Dark. Talking to black stuff. I'm like, yo, you don't even look like your shorts. Like, what? I'm like, you don't even look like your shorts. He's like, what? And a European had to come and say, you don't look like your shorts, for him to get it, right? So the Moorish nation state been here since those guys fell in 33. And we've been everything else except Moors. And then now, 100 years later, we're Moors, and you expect them to jump because you said boo or something? You know what I mean? We just got on this. We got to be sure about this for ourselves first before we want to try prove something to somebody. Because trust me, they know about Moorish and Moroccan and Egypt and Kemet and Atlantis and whatever being on this side. They know that. They know we've been had civilizations here and all that. It's not secret to them. It's only secret to us because we're just finding out. How come we're just finding out? Because all these people, you know what I mean? You know, praise be unto them, you know, the John Henrik Clarks and all these people who we studied under or whatever, right? The Ivan Van Sertima's came out and told people, I couldn't tell you that you're Morris because they would have deported me. Like, what do you want me to do? Get deported? You know? When all you have to do is listen to Noble Drew Ali, proclaim your nationality, and then talk about Moors. Because I don't see them deporting anybody talk about Moors anywhere. I don't see them choking Moors out on the corner. Or driving by their car, shooting them up just because they're standing there. Because it's a whole different thing when you deal with Moors. It's not the same. Like when you say, when you go to a store or something, right? And you say, yeah, I want to buy this. How are you going to pay? Oh, I'm going to pay, debit, credit. Oh, you got ID? We can see that that's, because this is a black card, and we just want to make sure. Oh, yeah, ma'am, you give the license, and they say, okay, yeah, that's you or whatever, and they do a transaction. Don't equate that with pull out a nationality card, put down, and tell them you're tax exempt, no tax. It's not the same. That's two different demonstrations, even though they're dealing with the same thing of purchasing, right? But because of the status, it's a whole different situation. We go in the store and the lineup's down there because they're trying to figure out how to put the stuff in the computer. And I don't pay tax. I'm not worried about those people in their line. They want to get mad or whatever. You guys, when you guys come up, you guys can go too fast and pay your tax. I ain't paying tax. Why should I? I'm not corporate, right? I'm not corporate. Why would I pay tax? For what? Only corporations pay tax, especially if it's European ones. And that's what it is. Because I recognize that we got a nation state. We're not some building with a sign on it. Yeah, we say, that's consulate. We say that's school. We say that's a museum. Why? Because that's what it is. That's what all of them are supposed to be. It's not just we're being, different or something like that. We recognize what Drew Ali brought and we exercise stuff. And people don't want their birthright. Because continuously show people, here's the receipts, and we get taxes off. Let's proclaim your nationality. Well, I gotta, and then, but what if, what are you talking about? Like, you haven't talked to the police in 5 years. They haven't engaged you for anything. Why is that gonna change? Well, because if you start talking about, what are you talking about stuff? Then somebody talk to you. What do you mean? Slow down. We're 100 years behind on this. I think people cram 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, studying and all that stuff. Because what information, if you, you know what information we don't have that we should have by now, right? Mad information. Only because certain people didn't want us to know about our nation state. Certain people didn't want us to know that it's common knowledge to everybody in the world that this is Morocco. Above Mexico is the Republic of Morocco. Everybody knows this. All these books on the Moorish Empire that they have out there, oh no, because the European wrote that. I don't know if that's what do you want? What like how much excuses people gonna bring up for not getting down with their birthrights? And then the people who have the birthright don't even realize that they got it and that they could exercise because it's become a training. It's become a training that there's a guy, and when that guy says that everything is good, and then we're gonna. That's not what this is. This is not satellite. This is the leader. This is not satellite. Just look up satellite in your unabridged dictionary. See what you find. Right? This is leader. This is be what you know. Right? This is be what you know. Not guess because heard somebody say something. It sounded, but you didn't really get what they said, but you know what I mean? I was just gonna try and see. Nah, don't do those ones. Know for yourself what this is. Know for yourself what this is. And then exercise something. Don't know what this is because some guy went to court 50 times and he beat everything. And then you're like, shit must work. Go to him. Nope. Because you're going to get yourself 20 years or some shit. Just because everything's quickened right now. So things that you would have did and get a slap on the wrist for, now they'll put you away for 20 years for some contempt or something like that. When really and truly, we're supposed to be living according to, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, right? So that we don't get into stuff to even have us up in there in the first place. Because, we're more. We're not black guys. We're Moors. We're Moors. Like, we're Moors. We got scimitar, might have a piece, might have a bat. I mean, like, everything's our stuff. You might throw some powder down, draw a pentagram or something like that. Jump in it, disappear. That's Moors. It's not nothing spooky. That's just like the war that Islam to Maurice, right? There's all these Maurices too that's coming out the woodworks, right? Islam to the brother Maurice, because we were building yesterday and we were talking about, he's talking about stuff that you've seen, seen shapeshifters and stuff like that. People turn to reptiles in front of him and stuff like that, right? So, and then he's on more science, right? Just realized, just got the, Noble Drew Ali and Moorish movement and status and, oh my gosh, I'm not black and well, I already knew this and, trying to put people on and they don't want it and, right, just, the scattered everywhere, happy that you came back home because you knew something was wrong the whole time, right? So all these people, right, coming up, waking up, that have certain degree of knowledge that they never applied to Moorish science because, they never heard about it. It wasn't presented to them because dirty Moors didn't do their job and give people their birthright. They have people thinking that their birthright is something that they have to go try get or, beg to get or plead or, you have to give up your social and your birth certificate and your license to get, put on 1,500, you could get it. You know, you got a hotel room right here, come over here, you get it. Anyway, except just, what the Prophet said. Like, Khalifa Media got books out there with the Prophet stuff. So you don't have to go hunting about, well, these Moors said that the prophet said that, I need to backflip before I could get in the temple. And, well, I never really took, so, like, should I do it? Or, you know what I mean? Are they a good temple? Like, if they want you to backflip to go in there, that should tell you something. Especially if you can't backflip. Immediately that should tell you something. This is yours. Nobody in the entire world fears black anything. They just come and be vampires on those people for as long as they can until that person says, "Yo, stop biting my neck," or whatever. Okay, like let's let's get real now, right? No more sucking me. Which is why people are getting people are going there. You're supposed to be able to, you know what I mean, go on your job or whatever. You know what I'm saying, and have, you know, a livelihood, no matter what you do. You know what I mean? You're just supposed to be able to go there. You have job people and, work people and bosses or whatever. But it seems like everywhere people go when they talk about job that they got or whatever, they're talking about there's always some group of vampires in there who are most times the head people that are just sucking them and anybody else who lets them. And that's now become the norm that, well, it's okay, we'll just take the sucking, right? When I don't see the Punjabi man going in there and begging for nothing. He got his turban on. Nobody can't tell him to take off his turban. And if you tell him to take off his turban, you're going to have some problems. Because he has a right to that. He has a right to that. And not like some fake right where, some people could put on a turban and get a pass and think that, oh yeah, because we're the whatever, that's why. No, that's not why. That's because the tradition of turban comes from the Moors. And everybody in the world recognizes and knows that turban means Moors. Simple as that. If you have a turban, if you wrap your head with something and call it a turban, you're Moors. And if you're not exercising like Moors, then you're a fraud. And you're just, running the game. Just running the game. When it's not a game out here, because people are complaining about all taxes that they're paying. People are complaining about all these child support, whatever that they got to pay. Everybody got problems with some type of financial whatever that, some agency is saying they owe them and they're sending them a letter, red writing and all that stuff. People going in their bank account, money they don't got, going to their grandma, going to these people to go pay these foreigners who are just hypothecated everything. So when Moors start thinking, you start questioning stuff. Right? You can start questioning things. Okay. Now, the next question, could you clarify what is meant by Article 2, Paragraph 2 of the Free Moorish American Zodiac Constitution, where it states that since the 12 jurymen of the 48 Union States Magna Carta document of white supremacy and the 9 judges of their Supreme Court were founded upon our Moorish Zodiac 12 signs mathematic constitution, the lawmakers have no jurisdiction over free Moors, the Bays and L's, in the inherited land of the Moorish nation, Magnet USA, Canada, and the Central and South America. I ask because I was under the impression that the Supreme Court was in fact the only lawful court operating in this land with proper delegation of authority. Is that not the case? Also, since the more you study, the more you know, could you recommend several books that may that we may or may not have read that you would consider to be must reads when it comes to information gathering? And that's Sister Krishna Ashura Bay. So with regard to the jurisdiction or the Article 2, Paragraph 2 of the Zodiac Constitution, the concept that CMB implemented with bringing forward the Zodiac Constitution. Because his um, degrees. His degrees is the same as Benjamin Banneker, who they call Ben Bay, who designed Washington D.C. and did all these things, and they say the black guy. When he's not no black guy, that's a Moor. That was a jurisdiction within himself that the Europeans had to go through him in order to set up whatever it is that they were set up. He was the consul. He was the noble Juali back then. He was the jurisdiction that they had to talk to. That's why he's always in everything. He's always present. His position is always honored and recognized in the highest position. They don't have nothing bad to say about Ben Bay. Nothing. Right? So what CMB is bringing back that perspective that we're it. What Clock of Destiny is supposed to be doing is the same thing as the Moorish Science Temple. Bringing people into the constitutional fold of government by nationalizing them. They come to join the clock, they get a nationality card, just like they would with the Moorish Science Temple of America. They get a constitution, just like they would with the Moorish Science Temple of America. They get all the things that they would need, just like they would for the Moorish Science Temple of America, for them in order to learn the truth about their nationality and birthrights. Why? Because at CMB's time, Dirty Moors already controlled the Moorish movement. It was already infiltrated. It was already, you know what I mean? And he took the last little bit that was left, and then they infiltrated that, which is why we read the email so you can see how they infiltrated and why Allah set it up that you didn't check any of these questions. All these questions are like these individuals don't know each other, but they're sending information as positive thinking Moors. This is how people say when there's no unity, when we prove that there's unity. These Moors don't know who they are, and they're asking questions that are piecing together things so to answer their questions. As well, give people an opportunity to know something that they might not have known or consider something that they might not have considered. Because everybody's trying to make it think like there's all these Moorish separation, group sects of whatever, when all of them are down with what Noble Drew Ali came with, whatever they call themselves. And if they're not exercising from the perspective of how CMB, the 33rd, 360-degree Master Mason, Free Moorish Master Astrologer, Moorish Constitution Lawgiver, right? And now he's taking the position of Ben Bay. And instead of giving it to the Europeans that, you already know that they got it, they're exercising, you gave it to the Moors. And what the Moors do? Bury that and try to make you think, yeah, red tie makes you Clock of Destiny and white shirt. And that's what the clock is. And go call the Library of Congress and go ask them for the certificates filed by CMB in the Library of Congress and let them tell you that it moved and they don't know where it moved to. Let them tell you. Let the librarian of the Library of Congress tell you that. So you can see why we always talk about these dirty Moors and people have to claim their birthright and exercise it. Right? There are legitimate Moorish science temples. Okay? When you do your traveling and you bump into temples, based on your study, as soon as you see the first Moor, you'll know what the vibration of this place is. Period. And you base it on that. So when we hear people talk about CMB and clock of destiny, our mentality has to be that it's something that he brought for the Moors. It's not something that you're going to go join because it has a different name than Moor Science Temple. And, Cujo says that Moor Science Temple isn't something you join, it's a mind state, but you're not going to look at the clock like that. The clock is that too. It's a mind state. It's a do you know what, just like, you know what I mean? Well, if the Supreme Court is the only lawful court to operate in the jurisdiction of the republics, right? If that is the case, then there should be no traffic court, there should be no family court, there should be no civil court, criminal court, superior court, district, whatever court, municipal bylaws, whatever court, there shouldn't be any of that. Because everybody should be going to that one place called the Supreme Court. And that's not happening because all these guys are bankrupt, insolvent, and dissolved since 1933. And our perspective is majority of the time because of Dirty Moors not doing their job, right? Not because of you, because you're intelligent. If you're recognizing nationality and birthrights and you're going to say I'm El Bay or whatever, right? You're obviously intelligent. So somebody made you not intelligent, and it wasn't the European. And all those people who sold you out, all those people who, made you be what you're not supposed to be for all these years, and now you're finding out who you truly are, those people are going to come at you even harder now. And everybody else, who's down with the fraud. Because, if the fraud dies, if Master House burns down, then, our house burns down. Because we love our master so much that we're going to put him on the wall when Joshua is an Asiatic. These guys are dissolved and bankrupt and insolvent since 1933. Like, they're dissolved. They don't have any jurisdiction. The only reason they have jurisdiction is because of color. The only reason that they have jurisdiction is because of fraud. They don't have anything lawful. They don't do anything lawful. Don't expect it from them. Because they're not. Are you lawful is what the determination is based on. They already know that they're not lawful. Are you lawful? And if you're lawful, then they're going to test you, see how lawful you are. And if you stand up and you prove that you are Moorish American and you don't play, dissolve people talking about they have some authority or something, right? That's where we have to be with dealing with them, right? So we can have some elbow room so we can deal with the dirty Moors. Because the only reason we can't deal with the dirty Moors is because, he's going to protect his prize-winning slave. Of course the master is going to protect the best slave, right? And the best slave that this European has, the best overseer, is all the black leaders. That's his best overseer, right? Like Elder Dick Gregory showed the clip of one of these sellout Negroes that helped kill Dr. Martin Luther King, who was a constitutionalist, right, in his later years when he started realizing about black, white, and all that stuff is fraud, right? Told people, lecture or whatever, yeah, I stepped out the way so they could get a good shot. And everybody just letting this guy continue to talk. Nobody grabbed that guy and choked him out. They just let him continue talking. All those guys are the best slaves of this European. And a lot of those guys, either in secret, have a fez and belong to some lodge or some Prince Hall crap that they think the European brought for them, or they're an infiltrator of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's how they get the degrees of knowing about this and purposely not letting people know, letting people think that this is some, letting people think that this is just some guy with a fez that had some information and brought it for some people. He gave you a zodiac constitution for your upliftment because of the depths of where we fell to, because of these dirty morals. And they're going to try to sell you what CMB filed in the Library of Congress for you. He filed it in the Library of Congress, the Zodiac Constitution, the Clock of Destiny nationality card, and the 3 certificates dealing with the status and jurisdiction of the Moors. And they moved his stuff out of the Library of Congress or somewhere else in the Library of Congress where only they know where it is. The same people who run Clock of Destiny right now. Go ask them, what's the number? And I bet you they're not going to tell you what the number is in the Library of Congress for you to go get the stuff that CMB left for you. Which is why, you know what I mean? Again, you know, which is why he did that. He did that. He set up the Clock of Destiny for Dirty Moors, and then Dirty Moors came and undermined the Clock of Destiny. And then is selling it back to the people as some group organization or whatever. When you got a nationality card and a zodiac constitution, not just a constitution, right? A zodiac constitution. And then that zodiac constitution is a free Moorish American zodiac constitution, which ties to the divine constitution and the bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America, because how else did CMB learn to be a 360-degree free Moorish Master Mason? From Masons? No, from Noble Drew Ali. And from people who were disciples of Noble Drew Ali. So there ain't no such thing as a Supreme Court. There's probably no such thing as a Hague, because all these frauds have sold out their position to the international bankers, who is, you know, what Rastafarians say, Babylon or whatever, and then they're trying to bring down the West when that's their jurisdiction. And they want to bun the West and all this type of stuff, when who you really should be bunning is the bankers. And the international bankers, IMF and everybody else who's going in Jamaica and those places and doing what they do there. But remember, they're not touching the Maroons. Though. Why doesn't bother the Maroons? Because they already know what they'll get if they bother the Maroons. But then, you know, the people who look just like the Maroons that choose to call themselves Jamaican, you know, they're not messing with the Maroons because, you know, these guys are dirty. But they got their own land and all that. Exercising as Moors, Maroons. And they don't want to get it. Just like Negro, black, colored people here don't want to get it. And why don't they get it? Because dirty Moors lied to these people, told them that they're black, Negro, colored, African, African American, Negro put a capital N, Negro put an underline under the O, whatever, in order to try justify civil liter mortuus as a in full life status. And the world is just These niggas. I got some hair to sell you. Right? Good. Constant. Constant, constant, constant. Right? Constant. But we're waking up because we're asking questions about zodiac constitutions and stuff like that. And we start asking questions about things that you're not even supposed to know about as far as Moorish American, because of the work that these sellouts did, it proves that, people are finding the resources that we've been putting out there in order for them to find their way home and not fall for these shysters trying to game them for their soul, spirit, fiat, mind, brain, anything they can get. You know what I mean? Some of them people probably taking people's organs and stuff like that. Because the priesthood is dead. The priesthood is dead. Right? So next question. A Nubian girl. Or Nubian Asha L. I just saw that on the bottom. So, right, so now, I do not have a nationality card, yet about 3 months in my awakened Moor state, and I have 2 questions. Okay, so this is somebody 3 months in, right? They've been studying Moorish nationality for 3 months, right? They have an email address that's Nubian girl, but they signed their questions Nubian Asha L. Right? So that's what Moorish nationality is. First, before the card and before whatever else that you see is enticing that makes you want to be down with Moorish nationality, because or when that Moor said that, I'm going to be down with this because I like how he said that. All those things don't mean anything until first recognize that it's a mentality. You have to be clear in your mind that you're not Negro black colored before you go out there and start saying that you're more. Because Negro black colored is a spirit. It's an entity. It's alive. It jumps. Like, you can listen to quote unquote black people talk and you'll just see it just jumping from people. It's a disease. It's a plague of the mind. Just that term. Forget the energy behind it. Forget looking up every word under black. So when you look up black and then it says all these words, okay, like look up all those words so you can really know what black is and see if you'll call yourself that. Or have that mindset, which is what we're trying to erode before we start going out there and saying, because, some people, their mind isn't tainted, their pineal gland wasn't starting to calcify or whatever. They don't have to decalcify first before they whatever. You know what I mean? They were just always in harmony, and they got on this information, and it just made supreme sense, and they moved forward with it, go got their card. The day that they heard about it, they went and got the card. They're exercising as Moors, and they're not getting no issues, right? Those people are over here, because that's a different level Moors, active Moors. That's more who's really the ancient foremothers and forefathers that came back. And then some of us are, later ones that we have to still, get certain things out and continually study and continually, because that's how deep we were in it, right? And there's different levels of coming into this, so, you already know. We're gonna minimize the damage we cause to ourselves by making sure that we're studying this information. We're not studying this to eventually go and whatever. We're studying this. Well, how am I gonna? If you have to, how am I gonna? That means that how am I gonna? You didn't even go check to see how you're gonna, right? And when the student is ready, the master will appear. So there's nothing coming before it's supposed to come. So don't expect it. Just like these guys, Kevin Trudeau and these guys talking about, thought power and, you know, to think positive and make sure that, your your sphere of of thought that you're expecting to influence isn't bordered, because the influence can come from anywhere. And if you're just focused on one point, you're missing all this stuff that you're not focused on. So we do our meditation and all that, whatever, go and get some studying done. Because it's yours. It's not something someone's gonna give you. It's not you most times a question most times the answer to the person asking the question they don't get because it's beyond, they saw something way down there and they reach for it, right? Nothing's not wrong with it. It's just that that's way there. There's stuff right here that you should be asking questions about before you're asking questions about stuff way down there, right? And if you take it like that, you'll realize that as you study, questions get answered. As you study, questions get answered. As you study, questions get answered until you get to that point where you realize that there's no questions. It's time to exercise something. Because what am I questioning if I know that this is my birthright? What's there to really question if this is my birthright, this is my land, right? Now, not what am I questioning as you watching and, oh, Kudo questioned that, then what if I question? No, not like that. What if me personally questioning? Because remember, this is our stuff. This is yours. Your personal package, Moorish nationality, birthright, your free national name on it, for you to open, and whatever's in there, that's what it's going to be. Because it's really your stuff. It is really like the nationality card is your mind. Because if I say as Moors dialoguing, Islam Kudro El, Islam Nubian El. Oh, you're Moor. I don't need to see no card or nothing like that. Okay, you know what's up. And we could have real conversations about fixing some stuff instead of just talking about crap, right? So when we digest that it's nationality, right? And it's not some papers that somebody sold me or a card that I got off this website. It's you. It's self-realization. Nationality is self-realization. To be that you're not all these things out there that people are saying is me. Like, this is it right here. I have been asking the stores I shop in about their internal processes for tax-exempt customers. Two of the stores I questioned asked me about a tax-exempt form. I'm thinking nationality card trumps a piece of paper. Do you know of any paperwork that needs to be shown in stores along with the nationality card? Right. Now there isn't any um, anything to be presented other than yourself, really and truly. Because there's places where I go where I just tell them I'm tax exempt and they'll not put tax on. Where I don't even show anything. Now on on an intimate level, it could be because, that's a mom and pop spot. You know what I mean? Because I don't really go to, do department stores and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I go to mom and pop spot because that's who's going to recognize what's up, really and truly. And then on top of that, rather support the little man than the corporate guy, you know. But because it's a society of cards, that's why we have the card. But we don't you don't necessarily need the card per se. You know what I mean? It's like pick your battles. You know, in some situations, yeah, they're gonna want to see something because of what it is that you're requesting. But as far as you having to give something plus nationality card, nothing goes like that, right? And if that question's coming up because maybe somebody tried to push it to you like that, well, yeah, you get your nationality, we give you these papers, and then that's an extra, 50 or 500 or whatever like that, then no, they're playing you. They're about to jack you for everything that you got. Don't even give nobody fiat, right? Go on harveybaypublications.com, study. I don't know who the hell that is, but one sec. I already know what's up right now. So when you go to these places, there's no form that you're supposed to give to them, right? It's 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 um it's for them to recognize that you are who you say you are, right? Because remember, you know, your mentality is what is going to prove your position, because your mentality is a frequency that you're putting out. So if the frequency that you're putting out isn't based on study for yourself, whatever it is for yourself, you know what I mean? Some people it's 18 hours straight. Some people, they can just hold a book and then they get everything. Whatever it is for you, right? The time that you put in is what you're gonna get out, just like everything else. You know what I mean? And we use, because I don't care what nobody says, right? Michael Jordan's the best, right? If he didn't put in whatever he put in, he wouldn't have got all that stuff that he did. You know what I mean? And that's how much he put into that. That, you know what I mean? That's all that he dealt with, because that was his position, right? So when you know that I could throw it from here and it's going to go in, then nobody's not beating you. Who's beating you if you know everything that you shoot's going in? It's not even whatever, backwards, three guys on you, jump, and then guys are jumping, and then you're falling, and you're still in the air and stuff like that. That's mentality. That's not skill or whatever. That's mind frame. Completely, he's in a completely different world compared to other people, right? Even though it's. I don't really want to boost him, but same thing with Puffy. Like, he did stuff as far as what I mean, um, changing the perspective of what I mean, how people look at music, whatever like that. You know what I mean? He didn't come with no silk pants guys when he came with Jodeci or whatever. But totally different, something you know innovative. That's Mars. That's us. Whether we have nationality card or not, that's who we are. We're always, what I mean, we're always gonna exercise what we know, right? Mayweather, like but he's just in the zone. Why is he in the zone? Cause that's his lane. Once you pick your lane, then it's golden. Automatic. Like no questions asked. Right? Nationality and birthrights is our lane. And then we go and do whatever it is that, you know what I mean, we're supposed to do. Because that's the first thing. Just like, you know, anybody, you know, is able to realize something. You know what I mean? And it's are you gonna act on it when you realize something? You had to realize something to say Nubian L as somebody who's in this 3 months, or somebody who came in 2 days ago and national and birthright. So I was like, my name is Johnson or whatever. No, that can't be my name. I'm gonna just call myself, I don't know, Book L, because I like to read or something. I don't care. I'm just gonna call myself Book L. I'm not calling myself Jeffrey Johnson. Right? That's thinking. You know, because you recognize something. And that's what it's really about. That, you know, all these DVDs that we watch and all that is not for information. It's to inspire us to go get some information. It's not to you know, really get the info. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's it's for the information, but the information is supposed to spark us to do something, to act, right? And the more that we intake, the more active we'll be. The more active we'll be. You know. Now, the second part of the question: I'm in New York territory. There is no temple here, and I do not belong to any Moorish temple yet. The Canaanland Moorish temple is where I'm most active with online classes. Is where I would like to become a member. How important is it, if at all, to join a temple closer to you? Now, the reason that it's about being in a temple, organization, association, whatever, once it's constitutional and civic minded, the reason why you are part of that close to you is because it's a consulate. It's a governmental office that as a member, as a citizen of Morocco, that's somewhere that you can go to get nationality card, passport, you know, plates for your conveyance, um, you know, a treasury that you can put, you know, finance in, and then they'll keep it there as a trust for you, or whatever, right? Um, you know, that's why you want it close, because you don't want your consulate to be far from you or whatever it's not from, right? You don't want the consulate to be far from you. You want it to be close to you so that you're able to reach it and interact with it, because it is a body. It is a living entity that could use your energy to be more than it is. So, you know, yeah, to be a member of Canaanland is a possibility, but we don't push that because we're not close. So even if we say that we are that, we can't really reach out and touch you. But you know, we know that Nature El Bay is in Asbury Park in New Jersey, which, you know, that's way closer than where we're at. So we'll direct people there because we know that those Moors deal with a certain vibration of Moor science. You know what I mean? And they deal with the same vibration that we deal with. So we'll say, you know what I mean? We'll divert people there if they're in that jurisdiction. You know what I mean? right? Um, we'll also um, employ them to go to the Wednesday classes at Black National Theater because Wednesdays Roz and them do classes there. So there's that. Um, there's brother Seth and Rabe in Philly, who what I mean. Even himself isn't part of a temple, but his activity comes from him just being around certain Moors. So he's exercising, right? He doesn't have to belong to something to exercise nationality and birthrights because it's his stuff. And once the concept is that, then it doesn't matter what you belong to. You're a Moor, and you just exercise as a Moor because that's what what I mean. If yeah, you can get down with something. It would be good if you do because really it's about unity and it's about having people who are like-minded around you or whatever. Because you feed off each other and all that, and it's gonna be just like being on the ball team when you guys won the championship or whatever. You know what I mean? From zero zero to 64 and whatever, and then you won the stuff. You know what I mean? It's a family. You know what I mean? Right? A family broken up into different pockets all over wherever. That I can get up, go to Milwaukee, go there, chill like I'm home. Get up, there's breakfast and all that stuff. You know what I mean? If I want, I could go make something. You know what I mean? Get up, go to wherever. You know what I'm saying? Because wherever there's Moors, that's that's just the next home where you could go to, right? But people when they go check their boy and they realize that hold on a second, like how come they got church going on in there and why is everybody clapping and this is not what I you know what I mean? Then you leave that alone and you go find somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that part of it is about the unity, you know, belonging to the temple. It's not really, the temple. It's really uh, arm of the nation in the area where you are. So, you're going to have ties with it. You know what I mean? Just naturally. If I'm a Moor and there's a place called Moor Science Temple where I'm at, or close to where or whatever, I'm going to go there just because I'm a Moor. You know what I mean? Right? Just like the Jordan guy is going to sleep outside. He's not going to do that for no Adidas or nothing like that. He's only doing that for the specific jurisdiction that he's supplying or representing. You know what I'm saying? Right? How's your time? Your time's all right? All right? So as we um, evolve in our learning, we'll realize, how important Noble Jawadi is and what he brought. You know what I mean? Because it's really because of him why we're even considering Moorish nationality. You know what I mean? Because the person who told you, somebody down the line, it all leads back to him. Because nobody else told us about nationality and birthrights. Right? Even though there were Moors in the 1700s saying that we're not Negroes, we don't want to be tried under the Negro Act or whatever. They were fending for themselves. You know what I mean? But what were they using? Moorish birthrights. They were saying that they're subjects of Morocco. So you guys can't do nothing to us. What you guys gonna do to us? You can't do nothing to us. You can't try us under those stuff there. We're not free blacks. We weren't in slavery and then came out of slavery. No, like we're viceroys. You know what I mean? We've been free. We've been free. Don't try to catch us up in the stuff that you know what I mean? We're not the same as them people. Right? Which comes back to the same thing of status. You know what I mean? And again with the question that, if there's not one that's around you, you know what I mean, you throw out another you know, hawk or whatever. Go scan the place. You know what I mean? There must be one. You know, there's one way out there by whatever. Hawk came back, you know what I mean? Falcon or whatever came back. All right, then, you know what I mean? You pack up the stuff, let's go. That's it. You go check the stuff. Yeah, and that too. That's the other level, right? The other level of it is, you know, do like what brother Seth and Rabi did.
Right.
Get a space and say, yo, we got classes here every Saturday, 12 o'clock,
Build it.
whatever. If you want to learn something, we're here at 12 o'clock to whatever. You know what I mean? And we just build. Why? How come? Well, how come he's doing that or whatever? Why is he not part of the temple? Because he went around to all the temples, realized praying and all this type of stuff. And, I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, I want to be active.
Yeah.
If I go to that place there, they're going to try to tell me, no, you can't do this. And, well, you know, you have to, you can't wear that. You know what I mean? And you have to watch because you have to do the this way, not the this way.
Yeah, like,
You know?
yeah.
And people just say, yo, forget these guys and their crap. And they do whatever it is that they see fit because they realize that it's birthright.
Right.
That you can't, you know, like we're not taking away from the temple because there are temples out there that, you know, if you want to join the temple, you can do it online, you know what I mean? You know, there. If you just want to join one and it doesn't matter how far because you know you're gonna study anyways and whatever, then the closest one to your jurisdiction that's dealing with the right frequency that you're on, then go join them because they'll know exactly what it is that you're on because you know they're on that same frequency. So whether you're 50 miles away, 10 miles away, down the street, you know, 14-hour bus ride.
Even if you don't even have the time,
right?
Make everything viral now, so you can, you know.
You can't make it happen, you know. You can't make it happen. Um, so the the jurisdiction of Morocco, right, that we know as the Moorish Empire, is gonna put something out there from the Prophet and then back it up so people can realize that he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing, and him taking the position that he took um, was the blow. You know what I mean? The straw that broke the camel's back, right? Because remember, we have the Washita who kicked the U.S.'s ass, sued them, got how much ever thousands of acres or whatever. So they got hit with that, right? You have sundry free Moors who's even, you know, same thing, beat up on them about Moorish status, forget about Negro black and all that stuff right there. All that is them losing credibility, right? And then even all the Moors that we don't know, just like the Sundry Free Moors, who argued status. It couldn't have been just them four and their wives or whatever that were saying, "Nah, we don't want to be under the Negro Act" and getting off. That's just the one that they talk about or that you know didn't get destroyed. But there's there's no way, right? There's no way that um, the Moroccan Empire could fall or be dissolved or whatever if there's still all these other people around who had affiliations with that and are calling themselves an empire or a kingdom or whatever, and then claiming jurisdiction in jurisdiction that's not their origin. They have to be doing it under the Moors. or disguised as Moors or pretending to be Moors somehow, some way, shape, or form. And the only reason they're doing that is because the real Moors aren't being Moors. They're being whatever else. They're not claiming who they are, so it's left up to get hypothecated. Right? Right. So, chapter 47, Noble Jew Ali tells the Moors, the Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. And anybody could go do their research, and you're going to see that the so-called people who say they're Hebrew Israelites or whatever, they used to worship Baal, which is a Canaanite god. So they can't say that they're not Moors, right? Because Hebrews came out of the Canaanites. Why is El in Hebrew and it's a Canaanite word?
Question.
Right?
Question for them.
Right? But they won't answer because, they want to play club. They want to play join this. When this is the Moroccan Empire. Right? So Noble Drew Ali said that. And then and don't worry, I'm gonna get to at the end we'll do the thing with the books. What books to read. I never forgot, don't worry. Citizenship of the United States. Actually, we'll read Addressing Issues of Citizenship. And R.V. Bay Publications, this is the Treaty of Peace and Friendship book. You can get that at rvbaypublications.com. It's not even expensive. Addressing the issues of citizenship, Taj Tariq Bey. Citizenship has always been a subject that has invoked sensitivities and controversy in North American politics and sociology. Particular emphasis has been placed upon this subject because of the destructive and corrupt effects imposed upon Aboriginal and indigenous natural peoples due to European occupation, colonization, exploitation, usurpation, misrepresentations, miseducation, and other arbitrary social and political activities, which they, the immigrants, the peregrinous immigrants, have imposed upon the Al-Moroccans, Americans of the land. This established fact of alien intrusion must be recognized and affirmed for reasoning minds to consider in these refined controversies and arguments concerning citizenship. Logically, territorial jurisdiction, as well as in personam jurisdiction and subject matter jurisdiction perspectives, come into political consideration. Thus, the matters involving nationality, nationalization, naturalization, allegiances, alliances, and citizenship, sanguineous or statutory, are of unavoidable social, geographical, and political import. Proper status and estate rights are always involved in all social and economic activities and decisions made by governments. The same issues are equal or of sometimes more personal importance in those issues of obligations, taxation, secured rights, and other inter-social activities entered into by the citizen members of the said governments. The readers of these texts are encouraged to take serious these presentments in that they affect everyone's social, economic, and political standings in relationship to third parties and the state. In order to give ancillary In order to give ancillary helps to those who have limited knowledge in these areas of social and political discipline, I will present some important lawful and legal definitions. These should aid the reader in determining the parameters of studies needed and necessary for anyone to be held sufficient and competent in the matters of citizenship. Emphasize. Moorish Americans, thus, should be minimally qualified to be proficient in recognizing the importance of true identity and their legal status in society. Identity. In the law of evidence, identity is sameness. The fact that a subject, a person, or a thing before the court is the same as it, he, she, or it is represented to be, claimed to be, or charged to be. In propria persona, INPROPRIA is a Moorish Latin law term that means in one's own proper person. It is a rule in pleading that pleas to the jurisdiction of the court must be pled in propria persona, because if pleaded by an attorney, they admit the jurisdiction, as an attorney is an officer of the court, and he is presumed to plead after having obtained leave, which admits the jurisdiction. Status. Status is the standing, the state or condition of a person. It is the legal relation of the individual to the rest of the community. Status involves the rights and duties and capacities and incapacities which determine a person to a given class. It is a legal personal relationship, not temporary in its nature, nor terminable at the mere will of the parties, with which third parties and the state are concerned. And while the term implies relation, it is not mere relation. It also means estate, because it signifies the condition or the circumstances in which one stands with regard to his property. Estate is the interest which anyone has in lands or any other subject or property. Right? So remember, we're talking about citizenship. So the definitions of status, in propria persona, right, as an identity, and its relationship to citizenship is outlined in the Citizenship of the United States expatriation documents, or the book on citizenship of the United States, just like the book on citizenship in Cuba and the book on citizenship in wherever else you go in the world. Right? Chapter 5. Temporary Provisions. Morocco. Mr. Philip charged affairs to Mr. Root, Secretary of State, August 3rd, 1906. American Legation, Tangier, August 3rd, 1906. Sir, there are strictly speaking no Moroccan laws relating to citizenship of Moorish subjects in Morocco. The fundamental laws of this non-Christian country are based entirely upon Islamic code, no part of which treats of the subject of citizenship. Islamic, ISLAMITIC, Islamic code. There are, however, numerous treaties and conventions between the various Christian countries and the Moorish Empire, by means of which citizenship in this country is defined. But as I understand from the above acknowledged instructions that it is not the desire of the department to call for a report upon such lines. Right? Why not? Because status has to be put on the table now. If we're talking about we are a Christian government, but this government that was here before these people that came here is Islamic, then somebody has a fraud status,
Right. So it always has to go from
right? So it always has to go back to the start, and the start is the Moorish Empire. Because this is Morocco. This is not U.S. or Canada or
Right.
whatever people want to
No
make up.
corporation,
This
right?
is North American Union and all
Yeah.
these stuff where people want to make up and say that, oh yeah, that's what this land is,
Yeah.
right? So once we realize that it's not any of those things, then it goes back to what it is. And again, honors to the Prophet because he came and told us what it is, right? The jurisdiction of the Moorish Empire,
Right.
right? So when Europeans are talking about 1906, talking about Moorish this and Moorish that, there's no Morocco in Africa right now. There's no Morocco in North Africa. That's a kingdom. There's a Morocco there,
Yeah.
but that's not the
Not the same.
1956
Yeah.
guys who are saying that's the kingdom of Morocco. There was only a Moroccan empire. And
But
Egypt was a capital
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the empire,
Right. Right.
the capital. Everybody went there to learn, do
Right.
whatever it is that because that's the capital. Just like everybody's going to go to Ottawa to go to the court, Supreme Court's there, Parliament's there.
Right.
Everything has to do with government headquarters or whatever is at the capital. Washington D.C. is the capital of the U.S.
Right.
corporation,
Right.
and all the stuff that has to do with federal whatever goes through the capital. So Egypt was the capital of the Moroccan Empire. That's why Egyptians, Kemetans, whatever they want to call themselves, Hebrews, whoever else, black Asiatics, whatever, gods, Erts, all that's part of the Moroccan Empire. None of those jurisdictions are superior to the Moroccan Empire because they're within it. I will therefore confine these remarks to general conditions existing, which may possibly be of some use in connection with the information desired. So they're saying the fundamental laws of this non-Christian country are based entirely upon the Islamic code, no part of which treats subject of citizenship. So the concept of citizenship isn't present in the Islamic code. There's no idea of citizenship there. So what they have to do is therefore confine everything that they say based on the lines or based on the general conditions that are existing at this time.
Right.
Because when we check the records of the Islamic code, there's nothing in there that has to do with citizenship. But there's people who are claiming to be citizens. Right?
Yeah.
Okay? Citizenship in Morocco may be said to be governed by the laws pertaining to the same in other countries, with the exception that all persons residing in Morocco who cannot prove foreign citizenship or protection are considered ipso jure as Moorish subjects. So once you can't prove foreign citizenship, so what's your nationality? I'm black. Okay, well, that's not a foreign citizenship, and you can't prove that you're black. Okay, so you're ipso jure Moorish subject, automatic. You can't go on saying that you're black now. You have to start saying that you're a subject of Morocco when you talk. Or, you're going to get like the Jews got for being something that they're not. But at least they had enough common sense to go make up a fake nation and claim to have a nationality, even though it's a fraud.
Using someone else's nationality because none of their situation.
Right. Right. using somebody else's nationality because they don't want it, right? To rebuild themselves, right? And they're rebuilding themselves based on somebody's nationality. No different than the British or whoever is going to use the Moorish nationality that's in their bloodline, that they know all these Moors who were kings and queens of Germany, Britain, Canaanland, Albion, all these places that, you know, Europeans have now. And they pretend like, oh yeah, you know, this is our stuff or whatever, our, you know, bicentenary of the Queen and all that stuff.
Right.
Like,
Violent, bro.
right? Violent. They're playing around. People's birthright. That's why that's why in the beginning we said, go to look up Silbury Hill. So you can see that there's mounds in the UK. Why is there mounds in the UK? Right? Why is there mounds in the Americas? Right? Because those were Moors, the mound builders, the Olmecs.
They're not gonna claim someone
If you're not going to claim it, it's going to become
someone else's.
whatever they want it to become. National site of something, Toboggan Hill,
Right.
like whatever. We bulldoze it, find all the bodies, just incinerate them and build a condo. If nobody's claiming, then, you know what I mean? They're going to do what they see fit with what they got. Right? So, if you can't prove foreign citizenship, you're a Moorish subject, not a Moorish citizen. You're a Moorish subject.
The subject is
See? Right? You're a Moorish subject. And it's not, you know, it's not a negative because it's a jurisdiction. You know, better than black.
way
Right?
better than black.
Right?
But it's just not.
Subject. Okay, so constitutional law. So the term subject is a constitutional term. Right? One that owes allegiance to a sovereign and is governed by his laws. The natives of Great Britain are subjects of the British government. Men in free governments are subjects as well as citizens. As citizens, they enjoy rights and franchises. As subjects, they are bound to obey the laws. Right? So if you're a subject, that's why certain people are going to make up stuff and say that they're whatever and then call these other people something else and then tell them, yeah, come here and, you know, attach, you know, American to your nationality so you can be a U.S whatever when they're really saying they're more subjects by attaching American onto whatever it is that they say that they are. But, you know, remember, we're Moors. We're Moorish Americans. Right? We're not subordinate to this jurisdiction.
Right.
Because Drew Ali came claimed that in 1929 for the Moors. The Moroccan Empire claimed it and put it in a trust for the Moors.
They don't know what they have.
And don't know what they have. And again, how come they don't know? Because these guys,
no one's taking the time to actually,
right? No one's taking the time, right? But these guys, all these guys, had this knowledge, right? They've been had this knowledge, and they're hiding it away in their chambers so that people can't get the truth about their birthrights, so that they can sell them a package. And yeah, you can get this off RVBay as well, rvbaypublications.com, because jealous of the prophet's fame and nobility and don't want to admit it. Right? Just want to keep playing games with people.
they took the format and flipped it.
let's see now. I've read a little bit, so you can look into a book of the beginnings, right? Gerald Massey. Probably want to get this. Give you some. I'll give you some stuff. I'll give you some stuff. For that.
Maybe rebuild your brain a little.
You gotta get the gospel of hip hop. This one here is IamHipHop.com. Gospelofhiphop.com. You can even just Google Gospel of Hip Hop KRS-One, and I'm sure you'll be able to get that. These two right here in Spanish prisons. Major Arthur Griffiths, Persecution and Punishment, 1478 to 1878. Right, 1478 to 1878. 400 years of persecution and punishment of the Moors and the Jews. So they can't say they don't know about Moors.
Definitely.
They can't say they don't know about Moors. The Spanish Inquisition, Henry Cayman. Gotta get this one. Gotta get this one. Our fellow children in the New World. Gotta get this. Jose Pimenta Bay. Jose Pimenta Bay. Yes, and he is a PhD. I mean, he's not no fronting. The real historian. Fellow children in the New World. Gotta get The Alchemist. If you don't have it, if you have The Alchemist and you just read it, and oh yeah, a nice book, you need to read it again because you missed stuff. You missed stuff. You missed stuff. And also too, you get Synagogue of Satan. Oh yeah, sorry. Give the author a little plug right there. The Alchemist. Heavy. Brother Ashaid Muhammad, for other people who say that we diss, Nation Islam and stuff, nah, we support them. The ones that are about something. Synagogue of Satan. And that's about the Jews then. Oh yeah, gotta get this. Gotta get this. The Dark Skull 418. Make sure you get this because this is a Seer the Duke of Tears. Right? You need to get this one. That's a good.
Name of the list.
Yeah.
Come back here.
Of course, you gotta get a Lean up there. First World Order. Alim Bey. Just go to his website, alimbey.com, alimelbey.com, or dralimelbey.com. Oh, forgot this one. Gotta get this. Hip Hop Decoded, Black Dot. Gotta get this. What else did we put up there? We just gotta put the European brothers out there. Peter Moon, Spandau Mystery. This is crazy. Just to show you how far people go with the Prophet when they recognize what he brought. Make sure you get that. That's an interesting one. All Peter Moon's books are pretty interesting. So anything from Peter Moon, pick that up. Kwame Sincere, You Ain't No Niggas. Also a good book for do the African studies, history stuff. Lots of facts and stuff in there. And David Imhotep, the first Americans were Africans, and then recognize, the Europeans got their little stuff. Photo from, Natural History Museum in London. And yes, he does talk about Moors in this book. So everybody knows it's not a secret. But can't forget, you gotta get this. If you don't have this, we draw these plenipotentiaries and the Negro black colored addiction. Right? That's Cujo's book right there. Also, you can go to Khalifa Media. Let's get all these ones too while you're at it. Yeah. Right, Khalifa Media at gmail.com. Khalifa Media, Moors in America. Just Google it all, you'll find it. There they are. A little plug. But yeah, right by that laptop right there. Just pass me that. Stick it up. Right? Yeah. Well, gotta put Big Brother Supernova out there. The remedy, you gotta pick this up. It's a good one. I gotta get a little detox and all that stuff on.
A lot you need that detox.
Yeah. Supernova Slow. The remedy. And lastly, October 5th, right? It's gonna be dropping. Iron Sheik 5, Moorish Master MC. The double album once again, because just so much stuff going on out there. We just gotta put it out. So August 5th, willofallah.com. You'll be able to get the new Moorish MC album. Again, telling y'all double album, so you already know. Big up to everybody who got their thing on in this. You know what I mean? And
that's our the mixtape?
Yeah, no, that's the next album. The next album comes out. And today we had our Holy Quran, of course, Black's Law Dictionary. Clock of Destiny, Volume 1, 12 Signs of the Zodiac, CM Bay. And I think that's about
24, Kobe Bryant, and then, you know what I mean?
I think that's it. Still, that's about it. The colonial empires. This one you might be able to get at a little old store or something. I don't think they're selling this. You might be able to get it on eBay or Amazon. They might have a PDF out there for anybody who likes to do the think tank thing. You know what I mean? Colonial powers. So that's that. So don't forget 9:30. Go get your little drink. You know what I mean? The washroom break, whatever. 9:30. We got the Blog Talk Radio, Moors Heritage and History School, Eyes Wide Open. Yeah, gotta plug this one. Don't forget this one, Deuce Muhammad Ali. Mustafa Abdel Wahid. Oh yeah, and don't forget MoorishCivilLetter.net. You can go get the Masonic Gate newspaper, because the Masonic Gate newspaper, they got some stuff in there too. Oh man, books just coming out of places. Don't forget. This one's coming soon. Nationality and birthrights.
Too many books.
Yeah. Nationality and birthrights. The Pujo book again.
Find that on the thing too, right?
Yeah, that'll be on Khalifa Media. Right. Gotta put Amos Wilson up in there. God. African centered consciousness versus the New World Order. Garveyism in the age of globalism. Got some of these. Theodore Draper, the rediscovery of black nationalism. Nationalism, not a black pride and a black other crap. Nationalism, right? Conceptually, good book, right? Let's replace black with more, and we'll take over the world. Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Peace, love, and hotep. Let's definitely do our close out and good. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. By night and by day, to His holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam. Islam. Peace and love, Moors. We got a half hour.
Everybody